Hey there, folks. I'm Meteorologist Matt Barrentine, getting everything ready here in the Fox 10 News Now Weather Center. Obviously, waiting on some storms. Not here yet, but they will be here tonight. Let me go ahead and get everything up here. Let's see if I can get my bearing straight. All right, let me see if I can. Wrong mouse. All right, I'll eventually get with it. Sorry. So here's the deal. Here's what we're waiting on. There's the front. It's up here in Missouri right now, Omaha. There's a front swinging on down. Doesn't look like much yet. It's going to be developing as we go through the day and moving very, very quickly. So here comes some storms here for us overnight tonight. So during the day today, things are fine. So if you got to run around, do some last-minute Christmas shopping, get ready for the holidays here, go to the grocery store, you're not going to have any problems during the day today. All is going to be well. And even on into the early part of the evening, no real worries there either. It's going to be on into the overnight hours into early tomorrow morning. That's when we're going to have the chance of seeing some stronger storms. And if you haven't been watching this morning here on Fox 10 News, they did bump up our severe risk level here for tomorrow morning to the level 2. You can see that yellow, that means slight risk. So we were originally just in that marginal risk, but they did bump up our coastal counties into a slight risk zone, and I will explain why when I put up the models. Here's the risk of tornadoes. Somebody's asking about that. It's not a high risk. It's 5% in this brown area. You can see the scale goes a lot higher than that. But it's not zero either. So, you know, it's something we're definitely going to have to watch out for. The main threat will be gusty winds, as is with all these systems as it comes on through. And then obviously a small threat of tornadoes. So we'll keep an eye on that. But once again, it's a low level risk. If we do get a tornado, it would be one of those what we call a quick spin-up type tornado, not a long-track, devastating type tornado. But a quick spin-up, if it goes over your house, can do damage. So we want to watch out for those, and that's what we're going to be doing here tonight. All right, so let's break this down. This is the important part. So this is the part you really want to pay attention to. It's the Futurecast timing. This is the high-resolution modeling. I'm using this model because I've been keeping an eye on all the models throughout the morning, and this is the one that really seems to have the seems to be doing the best job with this system, and it's also the very reason the Storm Prediction Center bumped up our risk level, and I'll show you why here in a minute. Noontime, fine. Clouds, gusty winds, that's it. You can see a little bit of green, that's 3 o'clock, a little bit of green on there. That means possibly getting a few light sprinkles here and there, but not much. So don't worry about it during the day. Fast forwarding all the way to midnight. So this is midnight tonight. Main line is back here in Mississippi, right through central Mississippi. But here is why the Storm Prediction Center bumped up our risk level. And it's because of this right here. It doesn't look like much at this point. But what it's showing is that out ahead of the main line, we're getting what we call some prefrontal convection. And basically what that means is that there's some storms popping up out ahead of the main line. And so, well, why is that important? Well, because when you have a solid line of storms like this, and they run in, that solid line of storms runs into some unstable air, well, that whole line of storms kind of takes in that energy, right? So it kind of gets spread out. But if you have individual little storms form out ahead, they find their own little pocket of the atmosphere, and they can use up all that juice, essentially. They have their own little atmosphere to work with. They can use up all that instability to themselves, and that's why those ones that pop up out ahead are always the ones we have to watch the most closely. You can still see a little bit of that happening here. So, and the high-resolution modeling is showing it kind of going inland too, so I wouldn't be terribly surprised if an update later today doesn't bump up that slight risk zone more into our inland counties too. So if you're on Highway 84, you're not out of that risk zone, I don't think. I think that might get bumped up too, just looking at some of the trends here on the modeling. So that's the initial stuff that we're going to be watching out for. That's 2 a.m. Main line still back to the west. Main line starts getting in here around 4 to 5 in the morning. A lot of heavy rain, thunderstorms happening here. And then we get into about 6 a.m. right through the middle of the area. 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So good news, bad news with the timing. The bad news is a lot of folks are going to be asleep. You need to have a way of getting alerts. The good news side of this, we're getting this in and out quickly because tomorrow, of course, is Christmas Eve. We don't want to be dealing with this all day long, and we will not be dealing with this all day long. So that's 6 a.m. By 7 a.m., mostly in the panhandle at this point, 8 a.m. I should say, 8 a.m. mostly in the panhandle. And then beyond that, as we go into probably by about 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning, it's done. It's out, and we can start seeing better conditions after that. Now, I say better, but it'll be cold. The winds are going to start screaming in out of the northwest. It's going to be real gusty, blustery winds, turning much, much colder there. And it'll be one of those days where when that rain starts early in the morning, our temperatures will be in the mid to upper 50s. The afternoon will drop off in the mid 40s, so it's going to be an upside down day. The morning will be warm, the afternoon will be chilly. So kind of one of those deals. So let's look at your Christmas Eve forecast. So in the morning, the rain ends. 8, 9, 10 in the morning, it'll end. By noon, the rain is completely done, and it's just getting real blustery at that point behind the front. Temperatures drop, so we're in the 50s early, we're in the 40s later. Temperatures just get colder as the day goes along, so that might be kind of a shock to the system, because today we're going to be up near 70 degrees. Tomorrow, it's going to feel like the 30s in the middle of the afternoon. So quite a change, quite blustery, quite cold. Cold as well going into the evening tomorrow, so when Santa's making his big sleigh ride tomorrow night, it's going to be chilly. Then when you get up on Christmas morning, hey, it's going to feel like Christmas. And this is what I mean, like it's good that we're just getting rid of the storms early on Thursday, because it's completely gone, some memory by Christmas morning. Temperatures will be in the upper 20s. It'll be chilly, but hey, it's Christmas Day. If you're going to have a cold day, why not on Christmas Day? Get the hot cocoa going, enjoy that cold morning. The afternoon will be cool in the 50s. Lots of sunshine, though. It's going to be a pretty day for Christmas Day. All right, so let me get my head out of the way here so you can see the full 10-day outlook here. So obviously, the main deal is watching tomorrow morning, early in the morning, watching out for those storms, seeing if any of them go severe. We're in a slight risk zone, level 2 of 5. Generally, when we have a slight risk zone, we generally will get a couple of warnings. It's not usually widespread, but you just don't know exactly where that'll happen. So, in exact timing of when that'll happen. So, something to pay attention to. Have a way of getting warnings. I'll be here tomorrow morning or early on, watching this whole thing as it moves on through. And then we go into Christmas Day. It's going to be much colder. Saturday's pretty cold too. A few showers are possible Sunday on to Monday. Then, oh boy, best day of 2020 next Thursday, because that's the last day of 2020. We need to say sayonara to the year, this year. Oh, can't wait to ring in 2021. That'll be that following Friday there. So look at that. On the 10-day outlook, 2020 ends in the next 10 days. Isn't that a good thing? So that's what it looks like there. I'm going to go back through. I'm going to keep my head off here so you can stay out of the way and make the picture bigger here for you. Once again, the Futurecast, I'll take you through it again if you happen to miss it. I know a lot of folks asking about the timing of this. Yeah, sorry about the noise. It's the newsroom. It just gets a little rowdy and loud in here sometimes. All right, so let's keep going here. Rain happening here for us, and it continues to rain. In the afternoon, we'll have a couple of sprinkles, so not the main stuff there. Here's where the big-time rain comes in overnight. That's 12 a.m. in the morning, obviously midnight, Thursday, Christmas Eve. And then that keeps picking on up as we go through the morning into early morning hours. You can see a few storms out ahead of the main line. Like I said earlier, those are the ones we're going to really keep an eye on, because those are the ones kind of working on their own out ahead of the main line that can sometimes get a bit rowdy. And then we have continuing rain until around 4 a.m. Now here comes the main line right through the middle of the area. So watch that blue box in the left corner there. That'll keep you up with the time. And here we are at 6 a.m. You can see those storms rolling on through. 7, 8 a.m., now 8 a.m. here. Most of it's to the east. Still a few showers left over west of 65, but not many. And by 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, let me back that up just a smidge. So I got 3 mouses or mice or whatever you want to call them in front of me. I got to figure out which one's the right one. All right, so yeah, look, I mean, we're just talking about 10 a.m. here. 11 a.m. is when this model is saying the rain is completely out of our area. So that's what we're looking at right there. And just once again, midnight, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., and then it's out. So kind of gives you the look of what we're expecting, anywhere from about, it could start as soon as midnight tomorrow, or yeah, I guess it is tomorrow technically, midnight, and then be wrapped up by around 8 a.m. So it's an overnight event on into the wee hours of the morning. Once again, have a way of getting alerts. So if you get a warning at your house, you know about that. Of course, I'll be here tracking anything that does pop up. So you can switch on Fox 10. I'll be here helping you out, watching these storms for you. And then the good news is we get that stuff cleared out quickly. By later in the morning, we're completely done with all that stuff. And we'll be looking at cold conditions for your Christmas Eve night, and then going on into Christmas Day itself. We got a freeze that morning, so that is what we're looking at. I'll put up the 10-day one more time. We'll sign out on that so you can get another look here at the 10-day. If I can, there we go. All right, have yourselves a great day. Have yourselves a Merry Christmas. Check in with me tomorrow morning. Not only will we be tracking the weather, but I think I'll be trying to track Santa as well. He'll be on the other side of the world early in the morning. But he'll be around, so he'll be tracking them for you. Tracking Santa, tracking storms, tracking traffic if needed. So we got lots of things to track tomorrow. I'll be back on tomorrow morning bright and early. I will see you then. Have a great day.